Alright, so here's the scoop. I'm looking at the news a couple years ago when the census was done, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, 300 million people? What the heck? When I was a kid, there was 200 million people in this country. It took all those years of discovering America, the 13 colonies, the gold rush. I mean, just everything that ever happened in history, Jamestown, Pocahontas, all that stuff. It took hundreds of years to get to 200 million people. And that was when I was a kid. And now, there's 300 million people. Well, I'm not that old, people. That's too much immigration. So I started looking into it, like, what was the cause of all this? It's not birth rate. The Americans aren't increasing based on birth rate at all. And that's not white or black. But what is increasing is massive immigration. And I did some more research and I discovered we're letting in 2 to 3 million people a year between the legal and the illegal. Everyone's always talking about illegal immigration. Illegal? The legal immigration's too big. It's all too big. So here we are, and we're talking about amnesty now. And I did some research and I find out that Ronald Reagan gave amnesty to all the illegal immigrants in the 1980s. And there was 2.7 million illegal immigrants at that point. And they all got instantly, they were no longer illegal. Well, here we are, all these years later, and now there's 12 million illegal immigrants. We have a super high population birth rate among the illegals and the ones that were made legal. I read that. And now we have tens of millions, not thousands, not 100,000 or even 2 million. We have increased our population probably about 25 or 30 million people just from Mexico. 10% of our population now is Mexican. That's 1 out of every 10 people. Now, that's too much. Too many people flowing in at once. So what does the president and Congress say? They say, we have this idea for comprehensive immigration reform. We're going to solve the problem of illegal immigration. Here's our solution. They can all stay. I hear that. I'm like, that's a solution? First of all, they're already here. What do you mean they can stay? They're not going anywhere. It doesn't make sense. How does saying you can stay? Obviously, we know that doesn't work because we have, what is that? 4 to 6 times as many illegal immigrants as before. And the reason I don't say undocumented, by the way, I actually think that's worse. That's like saying that somebody doesn't count. And even if they're illegal, they count. Whereas if you say undocumented, it's like it's not documented, it's not known. Well, it is known. And, that's like saying you don't matter. So, here's the point of this. We need to stop this. We need to slow it way down. We need to slow down the legal. We need to slow down the illegal. We've got to let the states help out. We've got to let the local people help out. And we have got to stop so many people coming in. It's not that we're going to run out of space. But seriously, at what point is the United States big enough? At what point? Isn't there some point at which we're saying, no, we're big enough, and we're just going to focus in on our issues. We're going to focus in on education. We're going to focus in on energy independence. We're going to fix all these problems. You can't fix it if the people just keep coming and coming and coming. That's completely ridiculous. I mean, all you have to do is look at California. California used to be regular poverty, regular economy. You could still have the American dream there for a blue-collar worker. I'm not talking about rich people, but, just a blue-collar worker. Today, all that immigration, California now, most poverty state in the United States. Highest numbers, highest rates. Unless you make a lot of money, you're not going to buy a nice house. I mean, you're lucky you get a condo. I mean, that's not the American dream. It's messed up. So please, somebody do something. Somebody, and not this stupid, oh, well, we'll give them amnesty. Well, what? That doesn't even change anything. That's just the way it is right now. They pretty much have amnesty. They've got driver's licenses in California. People are here anyway. Somebody needs to do something to slow this down. We're a first world country with first world birth rates, and yet we are multiplying as if we're a third world country, but it's all immigration. So that's it. I'm just begging somebody in Congress to do something. I've written congressmen. I mean, nobody seems to be listening. All right, thanks.